in case anybody needs it. All right. Okay, so that got started. We got about 1 minute here. Really quickly, if you would, in the chat, go ahead and put in your graduating class, just so I know a kind of a feel for who's here tonight. I know most of you, but some of you guys I don't know. All right, it is 6:30. Welcome, Cavaliers. We are a week out from winter workouts. We are pumped. I know it doesn't feel like baseball season tonight, but hey, no school tomorrow. It's just an extra day of rest, or go get a workout in, or find a place to hit. Take advantage of that time tomorrow for sure. In the chat, I'm asking you guys to put in your graduating class. Looks like we got quite a few sophomores and juniors tonight, which is awesome. Hopefully we have a few. There's the 2028. A couple freshmen. That's great. We'll talk to you guys a little bit tonight as well. If you're just joining us one more time, I'm putting a link in the chat. It's just for a Google Doc. It's our recruiting newsletter, and we'll get into that a little bit tonight. If you guys wouldn't mind coming off, or go ahead and turn on your video. It's just good to see some faces tonight. I want to talk to you guys a little bit about just what to expect here coming up in the next month or so. Okay, you can wave at me. It's okay. The plan for the night, I'm going to give you guys some information. If you've been on one of these Zoom meetings before, we just kind of give you some information and some updates, let you know kind of how we do things, and then hopefully at the end we'll have some time for questions and answers. Again, I'm Coach John Urick. I'm going to give you a little rundown on what I do and who I am here in a second. Okay. All right. There's Cash. How we doing, guys? Staying warm? Ready for baseball? Let's go. I always remind people, if college baseball starts in like a month. So they start playing games early February in college. So they're really just, firing it up right now. Okay. All right. We are recording this session. Check the chat for who's here, graduating class, and then also the recruiting document. You can, I'm just going to keep throwing it in there. You can open up. We'll get to that at the end of our meeting tonight. All right. I'm going to share my screen with you guys, and we will, let's see. Okay, sure. We will get rolling here. Let's see. Okay. What you can see on my screen, hopefully, is our newsletter. We'll get to that later on. I'm going to pull up our 2025 recruiting info document, and you can see right here in that newsletter is the link to the document. So once you have that, you can open that up as well. It's just taking you through the agenda for tonight and kind of some of the things I want you guys to start thinking about, okay? All right, so I'm going to open this thing up. Really quickly, you can see a little bit about me, and I'm going to introduce myself. My name's John Urick. This is my 13th year with the Cavaliers Baseball Club. That makes me feel old, but it really has gone by fast, and it's been an honor to work with the Cavs and work with the coaches at Johnson County Community College, as well as work with all the awesome high school players, college players that we've had over the years. Since I've been with Cavs, I think 11 years now, I've been the college placement coordinator or the recruiting coordinator, which is a blast. I always say the best part about my job is not necessarily coaching on the field, but like getting to watch guys in college after they leave our program, or even professional baseball. We've had a few guys make it to the pros, which is fantastic, and that's what we get the most joy out of, is seeing what you guys become down the road. And even the best part in our club is seeing who comes back and coaches with us when they're done. And we've had a number of guys come back and coach with us, which is wonderful. Since we've done this, guys, I just want to tell you, if you want to play college baseball, we will find you a good fit. 100% of our players that want to play college ball have found a place to play, and that's something we stand on. And that's part of my role, and your coach's role is to help you get there. Okay, so that's something we're really, really proud of, and hopefully continue. A little bit about me. Like I said, it's my 13th year with the Cavs. Before that, I played. I went to high school in Blue Springs, Missouri. Went to Blue Springs High School. Went to Cali County Community College. From there, after Cali, I went to Oklahoma State for one season and was fortunate enough to get drafted by the New York Yankees and played 9 years in professional baseball with various clubs before I got into coaching, which was in 2011. I signed on with the Chicago Cubs organization and started coaching in the minor league system in Daytona Beach. And since then, I came back here and I have been with the Cavs. So, a little bit about me. I love what I do. I love working with you all. And please, you'll find my contact info all over this place. So, reach out to me anytime. This is my job. I get paid to do it. I'm happy to do it. All right. All right. Tonight, we're talking about recruiting. Okay. And all the things that are happening. There's some new things happening. There's rumors out there about the landscape of college athletics as a whole. We're going to get into that a little bit, okay? After this meeting, if you have questions, just hold on to them. We will get to those, okay? All right, so what is my role? That's the first thing here on this agenda. What is my role in the recruiting process? My job is to provide communication and information, okay? I do a lot of communicating with families, parents, that includes you too, yes. Talk to parents a lot, players, I definitely want to talk to you, and I talk to a lot of college coaches. Okay, that is my role. I do a lot of emailing. That's kind of how I primarily communicate, but texting as well with college coaches. Mainly, the player is responsible for being the main contact person with schools and college coaches. My role is to sometimes reach out initially, but also follow up and follow up and follow up and check in, and sometimes be a bridge between the coach and the player. But I'm going to give you the tools tonight to where you, the player, can be the primary contact and give you all the tools to have great communication skills with those college coaches. Okay. I no longer coach a team. I did coach a team off and on in the fall, an 18U team. For many years, I was the 18U coach, but now I'm the director. So not only am I the college placement coordinator, I'm the 16 through 18U director. So when we get into the season, we talk about rosters and games and coaching and all that kind of stuff. I'm highly involved in that as well. I'll be running all those practices with you guys this year, which I'm excited about. So I also get to evaluate every player and assess their skills and scout our players. And that's something that's been new. In the past, when I coached my own team, I was pretty much stuck with my own team all year, and I didn't get to see as many families and as many players throughout the season and throughout the games. And so now I try to see, every team in my age group, especially 17U and 18U, play at least once per weekend, just so I can get in the dugout, talk to you guys, evaluate, answer questions, help the coaches, that sort of thing. So I'll be highly involved in that again this year. And along with that, just that practice, like developing baseball skills. I love coaching. I love talking primarily with hitters. I love hitting. I love defense. That's my jam. So I'm a coach at heart, but this administrative role is where you'll primarily see me in that role. Okay. So that's a little bit about me. All right. So recruiting, there are some new things happening. I want to get to that right away. All right. One thing you need to know, this is strictly about if you have any desire someday to play college baseball, that competition for baseball and really college sports as a whole is greater than it's ever been. Okay, guys? You need to know that right now. Like, it is tougher for you than it was for me. And we're going to get into that a little bit as the reasons why. You probably already know some reasons why, but we're going to just address that here in a little bit, okay? And really the main thing is the transfer portal. You guys are probably very familiar with the transfer portal. There was some bounce back with COVID and extra years of eligibility. There has been a story come out recently where the NCAA has granted a few individuals extra years of eligibility per an appeal, and there are rumors going around that if a player goes to junior college, they will still be granted 4 years of eligibility. Now, that's not a done deal yet, but what I'm alluding to is college athletes could potentially be playing college sports for longer than they are now. When I was growing up, it was 4 years and done. But as you guys, if you pay attention to it, there are athletes that are 23, 24, sometimes 25 years old still playing college sports. And, as a 17, 18-year-old high school senior graduating, you're not only competing with other people your age, you're competing with grown men, 24, 25-year-olds. And it's a different landscape to navigate, and we're going to help you through it. So there's some things that kind of go into that. All right, you're competing with a lot more people than you used to have to, for especially for scholarships. Okay, at the Division I level, Division I, okay, they can have 38 players show up for their fall season. They have to get that down to 32 players by December 1st. That's a new rule. Now, schools can offer up to 32 full scholarships if they can afford it. Division I athletes or schools get 11.7 full scholarships to be spread out throughout their whole roster however they want to. Now, the new rule is that colleges can, if they can afford it, they can fund up to 32 full scholarships for baseball, which has never been the case. Okay, so it's a lot different with all this NIL stuff and boosters and all these things happening. We'll see if that happens or not, but the roster has to be capped at 32. Well, that's just going to trickle down to every other level. So that's one new rule that we're going to see impact the high school baseball player is at the very top, at the Division I level, how are those roster moves going to trickle down, okay? And you'll hear me say this again later, but I'll just throw it out there. Like, if you want to play college ball, be open to any level. Because anymore with the transfer portal, it's not where you start necessarily, it's where you could end up. Okay? So just kind of keep that in mind as we go through here. Your competition is greater than it's ever been. And hopefully that excites a lot of you. Hey, okay, I like competition. Let's go. But I just want to kind of get you thinking about that a little bit. All right? So talking to college coaches, the fact that high school athletes are now competing with older college players for some roster spots. The focus for you guys, probably greater than it's ever been, is being physically ready to compete. Now, we all grow and develop at different rates, and that is perfectly understandable. Just leave high school being the strongest, most explosive athlete you can possibly be. Whatever you're doing in the weight room, in the gym, playing multiple sports is great. But if you're not, like, what are you doing to be the strongest, most explosive athlete you can possibly be? That should be your primary focus. I mean, at this point, if you're serious about college baseball and you're, maybe a sophomore, but I would just definitely say a junior or a senior in high school, the weight room's got to be your friend. And having the right people around you to push you in that area, if that's your goal to play college ball, get in that weight room and, become the best athlete you can be. That's step one. The more physically ready you can be, it will translate to your other baseball skills, first and foremost, and it will help you compete at the highest level. And, I would say in our program, like the Cavaliers as a whole, we don't necessarily always see a lot of freak athletes walking around, but I have seen a number of you guys get a lot stronger over the years, and it translates. We have some seniors this fall hitting the ball out of the ballpark that, they didn't used to be able to do that. And they bought in, and they're getting stronger. They're working at it, and it's a cool thing. So just, if you're doing it, keep it up. Become the best athlete you can. Okay? So college coaches, they want players to be physical as you can possibly be. But they also want you to be skilled. Okay? So not only do you need to be like working out, hopefully getting stronger, but, work on your baseball skills. And we'll get into winter workouts here in a second. But, what skill do you offer to become a college athlete? Okay? What can you hang your hat on? When we talk about measurables, the things that when you go to those PBR events or showcases and they get your measurables, I mean, those are real things. Those are things that college coaches look at. Yes, being a good ball player matters. We love good ball players. We love the scrappy, kind of, fundamentally sound guys. That's huge. That's important. We love guys that compete. That's huge. That's important. But your first impression is going to be those measurables. How hard do you throw? How fast do you run? Right? How hard do you hit the ball? Okay? That's where we're at in today's recruiting landscape. Okay? So develop those skills as a player. Make goals. Set goals for yourself. Okay, I want my velo to be this. All right, what are you going to do to get there? Okay, I want my 60 time to be this. Okay, let's make a plan. How are we going to get there? All right, Those are things that should be priorities for any athlete, but especially those who have aspirations of playing college baseball. Okay. Get those measurables to be the best you can. All right. Become the best baseball player you can be. Okay. All right. That was my soapbox. We talked a little bit about eligibility. So I'm going to kind of move on from that. All right. So times are changing. Scholarships are, going to be a little bit harder to get, but it is possible. And how do we do that? All right. Let me share a couple things with you guys really quick. So there are so many college programs that are still recruiting high school guys just like yourselves. They're out there. You just kind of have to know where to go. And that's something that I can help you with. One example I can think of right now, like Benedictine. Okay, Benedictine University, they love to develop high school kids. Yes, they use the transfer portal, of course, but they love developing their own players. And there are several schools like that. They like the high school kids. They want to get them in your program and develop. You just got to know where to look and who and do your research on that. Look at rosters. Hey, how many freshmen do they have? How many sophomores do they have? Okay, that's kind of what you can start doing. And talk to other kids that you know that play college ball. What is their experiences like? They play against other universities and schools as well. Do your research on that. Okay. Again, we have winter workouts starting next week. We get you guys for 1 or 2 hours a week during this time of year to kind of get you ready for high school ball. Take advantage of it. Become really good at baseball, guys. We want you to perform well at the varsity level. If you're ready for that, or the JV level, or the freshman level, or C team, wherever you're at, perform well. Get better. And when we get you in summer ball, get after it, okay? We will get you better. If you buy into what we teach, okay, we do the same things as it trickles down from the college, from Johnson County Community College, who was ranked #1 in the nation last year. So if they're doing it right, we're going to be doing it right, okay? We teach the game of baseball. We believe the right way. We want to help you become the best baseball players you can be. And that kind of starts with a purpose. So attack winter workouts with a purpose. This is kind of like, as a ball player, where you learn to separate yourself, okay, is your work ethic, all right? So this is the time, all right? It's January. There's snow on the ground. Like, what did you do today to get better, right? What did you do today to become a better athlete and a better baseball player? I love this quote right here. Tony Gwynn, one of the best hitters of all time, said, "I never saw a great hitter who didn't hit every day." If you want to be great, right, you'll find a way. Okay, guys? You'll find a way. The last thing I want to say real quick is before we move on is just, you might be young, you might be 15, 16, you may not know if you want to play college baseball yet. That is okay. We just want to make sure you're, the best baseball player you can be, and we want to make sure you know that you have options, and we will help you have options so that you can make that decision someday. Okay? If you're a junior or senior, hey, there's still plenty of time. Same thing applies for you. We're going to help you have options. Okay? All right, guys. So this document you'll have access to. This is something that I send out to families and players every year. Just some questions listed here that you can think about and read through. I'm not going to read everything to you. Okay? There are a couple things listed here I do want to touch on. As far as just thinking about what kind of college you might want to go to someday. If you're a younger guy, like, do you have dreams? Do you have big dreams? Dream schools that you want to look into? That's great. Go for it. Okay? Think about that college experience and what you want for yourself. That's kind of where it all starts. And when you get there, then we can kind of help you kind of narrow things down a little bit. In this recruiting landscape today, you're going to have to be willing to do some camps. Okay, if there's a school that you really like, look into when their camps are. That's probably the #1 piece of feedback I get from college coaches is, hey, here's our camp information. We'd like to see them on our campus. And not just see them at one tournament for one game. We want to see them for maybe a day or two and get to know them. That's really important. So if you have a school that you want to attend or look at, think about going to the camps. And I think, it is some money on the family's part. It's a commitment. But that's one of the best things you can do to get in front of those coaches. Okay. Start gathering your video, recruiting profiles. We'll get into that a little bit later. Academics and grades are very, very important in baseball to get that academic scholarship money. It's huge, guys. help your families, help yourselves, and it makes you more recruitable when your grades are great. Have awesome grades, and you will get more scholarship money, and coaches will be more likely to look at you if you have good grades. Okay, so please, please take that seriously. Okay. I'm going to skip along a little bit here. Just some other questions to consider. All right, moving along here, guys. So winter workouts are coming up. We talked about work ethic, getting after it, becoming the best baseball player possible. High school baseball is important. Now, we've had players that maybe for whatever reason chose not to play high school ball and still ended up playing college ball. It can happen. But I just want to encourage you, like, whoever your high school baseball coach is, try to have the best relationship possible with that person. Try to be coachable. All right. Do what they want you to do. Do everything you can to play high school baseball. It's valuable practice time. It's valuable time to maybe get in front of recruiters or just put some numbers up. Have a good season. Make an all conference team. I mean, those things are a great way to get on coach's radar. If you don't play high school baseball and you want to play college, the college will ask you why, right? They're going to have that conversation. Hey, why do you play high school ball? So it's just something to think about if you're teetering or unsure about your high school coach or situation or politics. Do everything you can to make it happen. Do everything you can to make your high school team. Okay, it is important. It's valuable, and there's a lot to be said for playing for your school. All right. Other steps to take. We talked about grades. Make a list of schools that interest you. If you haven't done that yet, I always ask, especially juniors and seniors, if you have a short list or a long list, I'd like you guys to send that to me. Okay. Email me your list of schools. Let's see if that's something that we agree, like, hey, that's a good level for you. Or, hey, this school, hey, I hear it's great. They have your major. They have the things you're looking for. Their roster looks like they recruit a lot of freshmen. Like, those types of conversations will happen. Send me your list of schools. All right. Says make a video, build your profile. We'll get into that here in a little bit. Okay. All right. A couple things about recruiting. This is all about communication with coaches. I'm gonna let you guys read through this on your own time. It's just good tips to have. You can't communicate too much, although I will say I had a college coach, a coach from Truman State University up in Kirksville, Missouri. I talked to him on New Year's Day. He said he had a player text him on Christmas Day. Okay. I love the enthusiasm, but like, hey, college coaches are human beings too, and they have families. Like, you may not want to over communicate on Christmas Day, but you know what? The coach did tell me, like, I like his persistence. So you can't communicate enough. That's for sure. If you don't hear back from a coach right away and you're emailing them, keep it up. They get tons of emails every single day. They got to sift through them. Okay. So just keep pestering, keep communicating, keep sending your stuff out. You will hear something back. Okay. This talks a little bit about recruiting services. I can answer questions about that. I am on a website called Field Level, and many of you all are on there as well. It's a good resource. It's a good tool. It's very user-friendly. We've had a lot of success using Field Level. At least I have. I still use email a lot. So either one of those are great. If you have questions about other recruiting services, like, I'm probably not as familiar with them, because between Twitter or X, Field Level, and email and text, it's a lot of communication. Okay. So keep that in mind. Okay. More things about contact information that I want you guys to read on your own. This next part right here is about deadlines. It doesn't pertain to many people, but a college coach might offer you something and say, hey, I need to know by a certain date. That's okay. They have to protect themselves a little bit. They don't want to wait on you and then also wait on somebody else that maybe that would have said yes. Okay. So if someone gives you a deadline and you're unsure about it, you can ask me what I think and we'll talk about it. Sometimes it's not fair to have that pressure put on you to make a commitment somewhere, but I understand why college coaches do it. They don't want to miss out on other opportunities, and neither do players. So it's a conversation we can have. Don't stress about it, but take them for what they're worth. Take them seriously if someone gives you a deadline. Hey, I need to know by December 1st, or else we're moving on. There's probably a reason for that. Okay, so just kind of keep that in mind. All right, almost done with my spiel here. How to get noticed in recruiting camps. We talked about that. Showcases are hit or miss, but know if you're a showcase guy. All right, so if you're 15 or 16 years old, especially, you need to listen to this. All right. What a showcase guy basically means is like if you go to a showcase, what tool are you going to be able to say, hey, this part of me can compete with every person in the city? Okay. So, like, is it my bat speed, my throwing velocity, my running speed? Do I have something that can compete? Do I have something that's going to stand out? All right. If that answer is no, be careful how much money you're spending on showcases. All right. Now, if you're a guy who's like, hey, I got exit velo, I can show off. I got spin rate. I've got velocity. I got quickness. I got speed. Then yeah, like put that number up because your numbers will get compared to everybody else who's at that showcase, and you want your numbers to be toward the top, or at least close, right? So be careful how much money. The PBR stuff that we do, I think, are really important. I think it's getting to the point where, like, as you're young and growing and going through the system, like it's nice to see those numbers increase over the years. So definitely keep doing that. I'm just trying to say, like, some other showcases out there that maybe you're unsure of, or you're not putting up the numbers that like you want to be competitive, then take a step back. Spend your money on resources like getting stronger, getting faster, things like that. Lessons, things of that nature can really benefit you, I think, more than spending all that money on showcases and then not getting results from them. Hope that makes sense. And if you have questions about showcases here in a minute, we can get to that. Okay. Last thing I'll just say, guys, is coaches talk. Your Cavaliers coaches, we talk about you guys all the time. There's a lot of you, but we try to have a personal relationship with as many of you as we can. I know your coaches love what they do and have enthusiasm for baseball. So we're really lucky to be in this organization and have the resources like the college and people like that that we can use. So I know I consider myself lucky. Hope you guys do too. And I'm just kind of a resource for you to, again, get you where you want to go someday. Okay. At the end of this document, and I do want you players to like read through this again. I've been talking a lot. I'm trying to go quick. All right. There are just some examples for you. All right. There's a sample email you can send out. If you don't know how to write, you can use that as at least a template. And then there's some profile information that you can add, and I'll show you what the profiles look like. Okay. And then there's some sample video links that we've gathered over the years. Okay. You can look at those. Many of you have seen videos now. At the very bottom, here's just some tips on videos, things you should try to include on those as you're making a recruiting video. All right. A recruiting video, guys, like no more than 2 minutes. Okay. Keep them pretty short. All right. If you can edit. Like keep them under 2 minutes if you can. You kind of want to leave them wanting more. Let the coaches see what they need to see, and then say, okay, I want to come see that guy in person because that looks good on video. All right. Make sure you're being careful with your editing. I saw a catcher send a recruiting video once, and it was blocking, and he missed the block. And he put that on his recruiting video. I was like, no, don't put stuff like that on your recruiting video. Okay. Don't put a fastball like hitting the batter in the ribs on your recruiting video. It's probably not what you want. Okay. Make it look good. Okay. Make it look good. All right. So this document I will send out. Actually, it's in that recruiting profile, which looks like this. Okay. And we're going to talk about this now a little bit. I will send one of these out once a month starting now, probably up to until summer, just to kind of keep you guys updated on things. Can you nod your head if you can see this recruiting roundup? Okay, perfect. We had some commitments lately. I want to kind of zoom in on our seniors who are committed right now. You can see Baker University, Kansas Wesleyan, a couple of NAIA schools that are local. Baker is in Baldwin City, if you didn't know, and Kansas Wesleyan's in Salina. We had Ryan Jackson commit to Fort Scott Community College after we did a camp there this fall, which is really cool. Dylan Puser, another pitcher, is going to Coffeyville Community College. Fletcher Noblet's going to a Division III school in Indiana. And then Leon Funk is going to Metro CC, formerly known as Maple Woods, here in Kansas City. So kind of a variety of guys that are committed right now. We have a smaller senior class this year, but we still have 5 or 6 guys potentially that are still looking to compete at the next level. And there's plenty of time, guys. Don't worry, plenty of time even into the summer. We had a couple kids commit in early July last year and found places to go, and they really like where they're at. So the baseball timeline can extend even after your senior year, which I know parents, that's not ideal, but sometimes that happens. I was a really good high school player. I committed on July 3rd after my senior year. So a lot can happen, okay? Coaching changes, transfers, you never know. Just keep at it, okay? On this document, guys, I'm going to put a lot of just different information. Upcoming showcases. The Johnson County Showcase is the 25th. There are a couple local PBR events indoor. There's an invite-only one from Mackensites on February 9th, and there's another one at home field. If you're interested, you can sign up for those. I put the link right here. Again, there's my contact info. There's some tips and notes I want you guys to look at. We have 2 Twitter accounts, if you didn't know. Cav Club, Cavs Uncommitted, and our Cav Club Baseball. They're kind of run differently. The uncommitted one is geared to highlighting individual players. Our Cav Club Twitter can highlight teams or, various things that we want you guys to see. So please give those a follow if you're on X. A lot of recruiting and direct messaging can happen for high school athletes on Twitter. So use it to your advantage to communicate and kind of build your brand, show off your stuff, show off your videos, your highlights, your skills. It's a good way to get exposure, okay? A lot of people do it. I can kind of work with you too. If you don't know what to say or what to post, we can work on that, okay? We can work on that. All right, last thing I'm going to say, then we're going to open up for questions, all right? This has been a really helpful tool for us. For those of you who have done it and updated it, it's awesome. It's really, really helpful. So these links right here, not that one, 25s, 26s, 27s, 28s. These are recruiting profiles that I want every single person to get on and fill out, and then update it as you get more stuff. And I'm going to explain what that stuff is in a second, all right? So for example, I'm going to click on the 2028. So you 15, you guys, freshmen, you have a doc here. I'm going to click on this and open it up. These are all examples, okay? But basically, every player, I'm going to see if I can zoom in on this. Every player is going to have something like this, okay? Your uniform number, your name, your positions. This kid, Carson Hilton, he's at Neosho right now. Bats left, throws right, high school. Always highlight your phone number, okay? Here's some of your measurables down here. And these are links to highlights or videos, YouTube links, whatever. Keep these updated, okay? And then if you have a coach that you trust, have them write a little bio about you, all right? And what I do is I go into all of these profiles and then I copy and paste them into a larger document. And then there's times where I'll send out every person in Cav Club based on their age group and position. And I can send it to every coach in the country, okay? Or there's times where I'll say, hey, I'm going to really highlight our senior class, get those guys done. So I'll send that list out, or I'll send our juniors out, okay? So that's really, really helpful because number one, you're being accountable for it. You're updating it, right? And putting your stuff on there. You're doing the work, all right? But also it's an easy one-stop shop for me, and I can communicate more effectively if I can just go in here with Carson Hilton. Oh, Neosho County wants to know about him. Let me grab his profile real quick. Boom, copy and paste. Type up a little thing about Carson, send it to that school. It's quick, it's done, and I get to do my job more effectively, and it helps you. It's a win-win, right? So keep these updated. There's a link for every age group in high school. It's a really, really good tool. I've got a lot of great feedback from schools as well, just talking about, man, that's really helpful. It's so organized. Thank you. Okay. Hey, that's our goal right there. Okay. All right. I gave you guys some information. You have the recruiting roundup link here. I'm going to put it in the chat one more time if you came a little bit later. I'm going to stop sharing my screen real quick, okay? Let's see here. And, whoo, all right. So that recruiting doc, read through that, please. Have my contact information, save it. Look through those links, look through those documents. It's all for you guys. This is what we do, okay? If you have a question, I would love to hear them. You can come off mute or you can type it in the chat, whatever you want to do. What questions do you have for me? What didn't I cover? And there was no bad questions right here. So go ahead. It's up to you guys. Any questions about recruiting? Any questions about videos? Any questions about Cav Club in general?
When you go to make the video, what are the best, like, is game changer videos or regular videos that you take with your camera, or do we have a system with the Cavs that does the different cameras that are available for making the video? What's your suggestion?
It's a great question. So a couple options there. One, if you go to like a showcase and you spend money on the video. So for example, the PBR one we do, they make a video for every athlete that attends their showcase. Those are great. Those are great videos. Okay. But they don't get everything. And maybe they don't get your best. If I was a position player, I would have some video of batting practice, maybe even just, underhand toss in the cage, but don't show the pitcher. So just get like the hitter from the side with your phone is fine. Doesn't have to be fancy, just as long as it's clear. Okay? Maybe 4 or 5 good swings from the side, maybe 4 or 5 good swings from behind. And that could be from a live pitcher. It's good to see a live pitcher. Okay? And you can edit those out. Maybe get 2 or 3 reps fielding. Okay? You can be in shorts, baseball pants on your practice field sometime, just so the coach can see baseball actions. So if you get 10 swings in batting practice, maybe a few reps fielding, and then a couple highlight clips from Game Changer to throw in there at the end, that's great. That's great. Some guys will add like a slide at the beginning of their video with their information, high school and the profile information we talked about. But the video does not have to be fancy. It just has to. They just want to see you, and it needs to be good stuff, right? Like make yourself look good with your editing and things like that. Hope that answers your question.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Okay, in the chat, someone said, what time of year is the best time to start emailing college coaches? It's a great question. So I always send my emails on Sunday night because I want those coaches, when they go to work Monday morning, to open up their computer and see mine first. Okay? But as far as times of year, I mean, you kind of have to think about too, like when does the college baseball season happen? They start February through May. That's when they're playing games. So the prime time to really communicate is this time of year, because those guys are getting ready to like host camps and stuff on their campuses. This is a great time of year, summer and fall, but really like in the springtime when they're playing and you're playing, it's busy. Now you can update them. Hey, I'm doing this, or hey, coach, here's my. If you want to send your stats, you can. Or here's some video from, my varsity game against Gardner Edgerton on Friday. I pitched really well. I mean, you can send that kind of stuff. That's no big deal. But they're going to be more apt and have more time to communicate in their off season. So summer, fall, and winter. Spring is just busy. I'll just tell you that right now. Okay. Let's see. I had a question in the chat. Outside of camps, when can or cannot coaches communicate with players? Is it different by division, NAI, and JUCO? It's a great question. So there is a new rule that basically says that, and I believe the date, it might be September 1st now. September 1st of your junior year, schools can contact you directly. Okay? That's a new rule. All right? In the past, it was different. So you're going to see less guys committing when they're sophomores in high school. All right? In baseball. Okay? So September 1st of your junior year, they can contact you, but you can reach out to them anytime. You can go to camps, you can go to showcases, you can email, you can call, you can do whatever you want to do. You can drive to the campus and try to set up a tour or a in-person meeting with the coach. Those are all good ideas. There's not much difference between Division 1, 2, 3, NAI or JUCO with that rule. It's across the board, September 1st of junior year. Okay. That's when they can communicate. How do you find the college coach email? Just Google it. You literally go to any, if I'm interested in Washburn University, just type in Washburn University baseball coaches, and you'll see a link to the coach's website, and their contact info will be right there. Okay. If you can't find it, email me, and I'll find it in about 5 seconds and send it to you. Okay. It's really easy to find. You guys can do that. All right. These are good questions, guys. What else do you got? All right. Think about it. I just want to say, players, it's up to you. Okay. College coaches want you to do the communicating. So you go find the emails, right, from the college coaches. You do the research on the program. Those are things that, like, if you're invested, if you put the time in and invested your time, it's going to come back and pay off for sure. All right. So kind of keep that in mind. Okay. Question in the chat. What if we aren't playing basketball for high school and can't make it to, are playing basketball? If you can't make it to winter workouts, guys, like, you know what? Do what you can. Okay. I played 3 sports in high school as well. I get it. Off season's a real thing. It's fine. Okay. You're playing basketball, you're going to be in the best shape than anybody else. You're doing footwork, you're being physical, you're working out, okay? But if you're like me, and it depends on who you are, I was a basketball player. I played varsity basketball. When I got home or when I had extra time, I went to the cage. All right? Or I got my throwing in, or I got my exercises in, or I was stretching, whatever I needed to do. All right? So if you're doing a winter sport, awesome. Play multi sports. That's great. But if you love it, you'll find a time to do baseball because you want to. Okay? Keep that in mind. All right. Question from Brock. After I email a coach my data or videos, how quickly should I follow up with them if I haven't heard back from them yet? Great question. I would kind of go with like the once a week thing for a while. So if you send them
Why is
email on Monday and you don't hear back, send it the following Monday. Just keep trying. If you're like getting really impatient, let me know. Email me and I can help. I will contact them as well. Okay. And usually what I'll do is say, hey, I'm reaching out on behalf of Cash Myers. Cash is interested in your program. He said he's emailed you several times. A lot of times the coach will say, hey, thanks for reaching out. I'll go back and find Cash. Sorry, Cash. But yeah, that's kind of how it works. But yeah, just keep after it. The guys at Johnson County say it happens all the time. They miss stuff. So it's just good to keep pestering, keep at them. Okay, it's a good question. All right, any other questions, guys? All right. We will try to have these meetings periodically. I'll try to keep my newsletter up to date. If you go to a showcase and don't hear feedback or um, you know don't get the result you want from it, reach out to me as well. And really, at this point, though, for you athletes, it's just about let's get ready. Let's get ready for high school baseball. Get ready for baseball season. It comes quick, right? It comes quick. You got about 8 weeks, and then hopefully you're outside. Hopefully the snow is gone. Let's cross our fingers for that, okay? But please get my contact info, reach out with questions, use me as a resource. And players, if you see me at workouts, like come talk to me, okay? I love talking baseball. I'll be there to help you. Let's go, okay? It's an exciting time to be a Cavalier. Okay, I appreciate you guys coming on tonight. This is recorded, so when we're done here, I'll try to send you all these links one more time, or maybe tomorrow, and you guys can use it as a resource, okay? 53 minutes. You guys hung in there pretty good. Oh, one guy's yawning. I saw that. It's all good. Thank you all. I can stay on here for a few more minutes if you want to ask another question. Otherwise, we'll see you guys. Stay warm, okay? Go Cavs.
Thanks, Coach.
Hey, no problem.
Hey, John, I just have.
Thanks, Coach.
Hey, no problem.
So, Sam transferred schools to the new TPH school. I don't know if you know anything about that out in Blue Valley.
Yeah, how's that going?
He loves it.
Good.
So that may look a little different on his high school, depending on how they handle that. Since
Sure.
it's so new, I'm not trying to guess, but he's getting great workouts. And I mean, they work out for an hour and a half every day, and then they do baseball for an extra hour and a half every day. So with that, and I'm having issues like trying to get the Keisha forms in to be a homeschooled student to playing. But do you think that will hinder his ability to be recruited?
I don't think so. I mean, like you said, it's different for sure.
Yeah.
And it's a different route than like even Jack, took. But he's going to be playing. He's going to be with us, and if that extra work pays off, then it's going to pay off.
Well, that's what I was wondering. Like
think-
he's throwing 80 something and hitting 90 off a tee with a wood bat.
Yeah.
So I think like production wise, it's working.
Yeah, sorry to cut you off. No, I think
No.
I think that's great. Like I said, in today's model of recruiting, those measurable things, like we said, are gonna matter. I think the next question will be just, does it translate to the field at the end of, because that is the other part, is
Right.
playing the game and having game experience, right? Like every pitch you see as a hitter goes into that memory bank and adds to your experience. So I think, if he can, and maybe when summer ball starts, maybe he's a little bit rusty with the game part, but
well, and hopefully everything goes through to where he's playing for Baser this spring.
Oh yeah, see, and that'd be awesome too. So.
And they want him, and so he's been in touch with the coach, and it's just provided all the Keisha paperwork gets done on their end.
Yeah, I don't see why they wouldn't.
Well, Baser has a rule that you have to work out at the school, and so, but even their trainers don't want you working out twice in a day because it's just not healthy. And if he's already working out at school, I'm sure they can just handle that appropriately, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just communication. Like here's what Sam's doing. Here's his schedule.
Yeah.
How can we make this work? I think this is a fair question. Like, how can we make this work? And if hopefully, I think that baseball coach at Baser is probably your best resource, or the AD.
Right. Well, we had a switch in AD, and so everything's kind of like.
So just just keep communicating with those people, and really now, like when people get back to work,
right.
Just putting that in front of them now, so they're not overwhelmed and bombarded with it come March when he's trying to get in there and do tryouts and all that.
Well, and I So TPH isn't actually the school. Smoky Hills is the school. It's just done at TPH.
Sure.
So we're trying to coordinate, like, how do I get his information and which school do I put down? And it's asking if it's a brick and mortar. And I'm like, well, semi, like,
Oh, okay.
this is all very new and I don't really know what I'm doing. But yes, so far, Sam says that the school isn't academically easier, that it's very challenging, but it's like it was designed for him.
Got it. Okay.
So,
Well, that's cool. I mean,
yeah.
I'm anxious to talk to him and hear more about it. You know, it's different, but I mean, I, I mean, maybe it's a new thing. Maybe it's really innovative. I mean, it sounds like it is.
Well, there's
So,
like, I think they have 20 of them in the country, but this is the first one that's doing baseball.
got it. Okay.
So we'll see. But I
Yeah.
appreciate your time.
Yeah, no
And you
problem.
have a great night.
Yeah. Hopefully it was helpful. I appreciate you guys.
Yes, I do.
Okay,
Thank
good
you.
deal. Yeah, no problem.
Bye bye.
All right. Evan and Roger, you guys okay? All right.